Hi everybody, today is January 15th, 2014. Here's an article you really need to listen to. So far, it involves an ex-FBI agent, Michael Grimm, and a group of businessmen, and Aaron Schock of Illinois. Both these guys are congressmen. Supposedly took information that the NSA had obtained from spying to blackmail a rabbi in Israel to get him and his group to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to their campaign to get him elected into Congress. If true, this rabbi is going to have a very short life. I only recently discovered about it because of an article in the Hazarat about the rabbi's arrest. Supposedly he was bribing two top police officers there in Israel. He claims he's being blackmailed, him and his family. Gives you a good idea about the corruption that's going on in all governments, the NSA's abuse of information that it gets, and makes me ask who else is involved, this group of businessmen that was blackmailing this rabbi and his followers. So I'll start at the beginning. And when I seen this, I thought, oh, as if there isn't enough problems over there. Senior police officer suspected of taking bribes, Rabbi Yoshia Pinto. Court lifts gag order on scandal involving Israeli police, FBI, and U.S. congressmen. The Justice Ministry Department that investigates misconduct is investigating the head of one of the police most prestigious units on suspicion of taking bribes from Rabbi Pinto and from businessmen who are disciples of the rabbi. The investigative material in the case has been given to Attorney General Yehuda Weinstein as well as Pinto's lawyers. The suspect is Major General Mahash Arviv, the head of Lahav 433, a unit popularly known as the Israeli FBI. This department includes the Fraud Squad, the Serious and International Crimes Unit, and the Financial Investigations Unit. A judge lifted the gag order on the case late Wednesday evening, following a request from Hazarat and other Israeli news outlets. Early Wednesday evening, shortly before the gag order was lifted, Arviv met with Police Commissioner Yohanan Danino, announced he was going on leave. Arviv, the case is a false tale, an attack on my good name. The case began in May of 2011 when Arviv was appointed Israel's police attaché in the United States. At that time, Israeli and American police were conducting a joint investigation into Pinto in connection with a non-profit organization called Hazan Yeshaya, which he headed. While serving in this position, Arviv developed connections with many influential Israelis, including businessman Ben Zion Zuki, who lives in Manhattan and is one of Pinto's disciples. Police now suspect that Sulky and Arviv, with Pinto's knowledge, developed a relationship in which Shucky gave Arviz and his family various benefits. This was not a one-time event, but something that occurred repeatedly over the course of years. While Arviz was still in the United States, Lahav 433, the unit he now heads, arrested Pinto and his wife on suspicion of trying to bribe another police officer, Ephraim Brasha. The Pintos were arrested on October 2012 on the basis of evidence that they had given Brasha 200,000 shekels, or $57,000, in exchange for information about the Hazan Yeshaya investigation. He goes on to say that at this point the affair gets more complicated. 3 years ago, Pinto was the victim of an extortion scheme. A group of businessmen threatened to expose medical records of members of Pinto's family if he did not pay them. Pinto turned to U.S. Representative Michael Grimm, who had a long history with the FBI. Grimm promised to take care of the problem, and in return, Pinto transferred him money through a security firm. Several months later, it became public that Grimm was suspected of being one of the businessmen blackmailing the rabbi, with the aim of acquiring funds for his political and commercial interests. When the FBI began investigating the case, Pinto told the agency that once Grimm was announced as a suspect, senior Israel police officials, and former minister pressured the rabbi not to testify against the politician. During the FBI questioning on Pinto's ties to police officials, the name Ephraim Baraka came up. In the current investigation that led to Pinto's arrest, the rabbi stuck to his story. He said he had told the FBI that he regularly gave money to a senior Israeli police officer, and that he had even named Baraka as the recipient. He said he also told the FBI that another Israeli police officer, even higher rank than Baraka, knew about these money transfers. That officer, Pinto said, was Arviv, who also allegedly received various benefits from him. At this point, the law enforcement agencies decided to freeze the planned indictments against Pinto for attempting to bribe Baraka until the rabbi's allegations about Arva could be investigated. Nevertheless, these allegations so far haven't resulted in any charges to the bribery case. None of the new evidence to date has undermined the thesis that the money given to Baraka was an attempted bribe. The material given to Weinstein included various receipts linking Arviv to the alleged receipt of benefits. There is an article on the Huffington Post dated August of 2012 about Michael Grimm's reliance on this rabbi. It says in mid-August, FBI agents arrested an Israeli businessman who would help Grimm raise hundreds of thousands of dollars from Pinto's wealthy, zealous followers in New York. The arrest came as the FBI has been investigating claims about other Pinto followers who say they made tens of thousands of dollars in illegal contributions to Grimm during his 2010 run, including gifts that were passed through straw donors to hide the true source of the donations. Grimm himself, a former FBI agent, has repeatedly declined, at the time of this article at least, to be interviewed by the Associated Press about the matter. He acknowledged raising $250,000 to $300,000 from Pinto's supporters, about a third of all the money contributed in the first 12 months of his campaign, but denied any knowledge of improprieties. Today posted on the Chicago Tribune is how a Houston woman, it says shock donor, tied to campaign finance case. She's being charged with illegally funneling donations. It just seems to keep getting better and better. A Houston woman who has donated to the campaign of Representative Aaron Schock of Illinois was arrested by the FBI last week for allegedly funneling illegal campaign money to two unspecified candidates for federal office. In a federal complaint, Diane Durand, 47, is accused of campaign finance violations involving two office seekers identified only as Candidate A and Candidate B. The New York Times reported Tuesday that Candidate A is Representative Michael Grimm of New York and an ex-FBI agent. Federal authorities declined Tuesday to identify Candidate B. Alright, so put the pieces together. Ex-FBI agent NSA. Medical records. Sounds like blackmail to me. And just think, they only use the spying on outside people, other countries, right? Unbelievable. We need to get these crooks out of office. Well, you can bet your bottom dollar that something's going to happen to this rabbi. Alright, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless y'all. Bye.